Well, you know, obviously we did well in many cases. I like the balanced scoring, and I like Charlie going out and really having a good game. He was due, and I think he wanted that too. So, and we want him to be more aggressive. Anton rebounded. Let me see how many rebounds you get there, Grady. 9. So I mean, we rebounded, and you know, we're trying to get better each and every game. So. With this young team, they're trying to make the right decisions. And as long as they do that, they'll be okay. We got to keep the defensive intensity up because we're really not a big power team. So our quickness and speed is what gives us what we are.
We have questions for Anton and Charlie.
Charlie, do you feel like this is your team this year?
Yes, I do. As a sophomore, we young, but we the veterans on this team right now. Because we lost a lot of seniors last year, so I'm the leader of this team. I know more experience than the other guys that came in, so yeah.
What was going right tonight?
Our defense, from the beginning, it started off with me. I had to pressure the point guard, and then everybody else just bought in whatever I was doing, so they kept up the pressure.
What about for you offensively?
We was able to make shots today. And it started off with me again. I made a couple of shots. We got everybody going to get out in transition because I was pressing the ball and we rebound good at time.
You got 9 defensive rebounds.
That's not right. I grabbed 3 offensive rebounds.
Not that he's keeping score. Anton, they asked if it was Charlie's team. You're one of the sophomores too. I mean, you feel some sense of ownership as well. That it's your second year.
I mean, yeah. Coming in this year, I knew I was going to be a big part of. I was going to have a much bigger role than last year. Last year, I was more of a role player, and this year, coach is looking for me more to be more of a key player on his team. So, what coming with being the key player, coach, all the coaches that sat down and talked to me about what comes with being one of the key players, comes with being a better leader out there on the court. Today, I tried to start being a better leader just by being vocal, just being more vocal out there on the court and being more positive to my teammates. And that's just something I'm just working on, trying to be a better leader day by day.
Anything else for Anton or Charlie? Thanks, guys.
Wait, what did the coach say to you guys before practice during the week? Because after that exhibition game, you guys didn't play so well.
It was just really all about our defense pressure. In our system, we start off with our defense, so that's how our team goes. So in practice, we went hard, shoot around. We had a good shoot around before the game, and we just had a feeling we knew we was going to come out and play good.
Anything else for those two? Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Nice game, guys. Gary, we'll get back to the game, but apropos of the news story from yesterday, you know, you're 61 years old, you've been in this business for a few years, but what does it feel like to get the endorsement from the program, from the president, from the athletic director to get a 7-year extension? What does that mean to you?
Well, it means basically we're where we want to be within our program. See, if your leader is not content and under control, you got issues, and so.
No, wait a minute. So you weren't content before.
I'm just saying, you know, you don't want to be you want to be content, but you know sometimes things don't work as well. But no, under the circumstances, I thought you know we were at a position in our program we wanted to put it in and I'm struggling in words here. I wanted to put it in the light that I'm going to be here because constantly we're on the road recruiting and everyone's saying, well, he's not going to be here, he's going to be at it, someone's coming after him, this, that. And, you know, I wanted to end all that information out there.
How many more years were there remaining on the previous deal?
3 years, I think.
3, I was
3 years left.
So you were sensing there was speculation that you wouldn't stay?
Well, not me. You know, the issue was all the other people that are coming.
I could have sworn Bernadette said you were going nowhere.
Well, and even if they weren't coming, you know, the opposition felt that they were coming. And
all right.
Put that message out there.
So you're, you know, listen, you're 61. I'm 60.
Well, it's just a different day age. You know, go back 10, 20 years ago,
60 is the new 40.
Yeah,
but you know what? Do you
and
feel
you
like
understand every year I go back a year when the years come.
I
So you keep hollering at 61, I'm 58, man.
So does this mean that this is your last contract? This
Well, it could be. It could be. You know, even within this contract, something could change if something happens in the next 2 or 3 years, which I expect something to happen. Meaning, we have success, then you write a new contract. You know, that's life, and that could happen. And if that happens, you know, it may be an extension, but I have to decide how many years I still want to coach this game of basketball.
Are you happier than you thought you'd be? More
No.
content?
No, you know, like I told you, I made a decision on people to come here. And when I made that decision and the people were right, you know, I felt pretty content at that moment, you know. Since being here, you know, I've had an opportunity to understand this environment, this area, and I really enjoy this. My wife enjoys it, my family enjoys it, so that's a good thing. Yes.
I understand you still have, you said, I think 3 years left on your deal. But does it still, that type of news, does that signal anything to your team? Did you see the players?
Oh, they were ecstatic.
Yeah.
You know, they felt, hey, our coach is with us. But more importantly, out in the recruiting world, you know, that message went out that, hey, I mean, I probably had 15 calls about the recruiting aspect, and they said, hey, you're there. You know, we still got to battle this thing.
Did you learn anything tonight?
Oh, yeah. You know, even though, and I don't want to take anything away from Grambling, I mean, you know, it was a tough game for them. I wanted Charlie to really feel more comfortable doing more than just being a distributor. And he did that. I told him I wanted him to shoot the ball today, go out and be free. And because we need some other threats out there. Anton's a threat in the interior. Tim, when he's hitting on the outside, he's a threat. But then beyond that, we got to find someone else that's going to step up. And if our point guard can do that, and I'm a believer, I'm not one of those type of coaches that I believe the point guard, all he does is distribute the basketball. I want point guards that can score, so they don't, you know, they don't step off of them, they don't back off of them, they don't do all those things. And Charlie did a good job at that.
I know it's just one game, and it was kind of one-sided, but more than once during the game, I told Joe that it's the first time I've seen Josh play. Josh isn't a big kid who's transitioning to point guard. He's a point guard, right? Josh?
No, he's a combo. He's a combo, but he understands the position. What you need to understand about Josh is Josh started every year of his basketball career. He's never not started as a freshman. He came out and was on the floor starting on a team that won 3 state championships. And he'd been a starter the whole time. So his flow and his play is pretty easy for him out there. You know, I remember the last game we were playing, and Malone was hitting all those shots there. I stuck him in a matter of seconds. He came right in, come right in, and hit a shot. You know, he doesn't fear anything.
How about Brent? He wasn't bashful in the second half.
No, Brent is never bashful. It's not a shot Brent don't think he can take. And you know what? I tell him, take him, Brent. And did you see the last game, that one he shot almost 35 feet?
No,
I said, oh, Brent, I want you to be free, but don't be this free. But he's got a great offensive mind, concentration level. Brent played on a team that won back-to-back state titles, and there was a #1 team in the state of Michigan. And Bren played with 2 other players. One is one of the major players at Michigan State, yeah. And the other is a starter, I could start at the point guard for Iowa. Now, that tells you they were 2 pretty good players, right? But Brent was the leading scorer for 2 straight years. So
how about Anton? I mean, there's a school of thought. I mean, I know you think Charlie's extremely important, but you have to be able to rebound the ball and score inside in this league.
Oh, and
Anton.
Without Anton, we don't do much. Anton is the key to a lot of things we do out there. Charlie's just got to control everything on the floor. But, you know, the other person you can't leave out because he's like a quarterback in another position, and that's Tim Kamchak. I mean, he is keeping this team together because it's a young, freshman, sophomore dominated team.
Is there anything else for Coach?
Congratulations on the new deal.
Skills is fine then?
Say it again.
Skills, his knee is fine then?
I thought he did well. I didn't think he really struggled with his knee today. I was concerned. We thought he had tore a ligament. And then he came out there, and then I thought he did a good job.
You gonna tell me anything more about the mystery from the other day?
Well, really, just a mystery.
Chad?
Just a mystery.
We have to wait to find out more about it.
Well, I mean, I can't tell you.
There's no announcement today, Gary?
For
You were saying that you may have to do something.
no announcement.
No announcement today?
Because it's really not much to announce. Okay.